The Indian Navy has recently announced the selection of two women officers as observers in the helicopter stream, making them the first women airborne combatants who would be operating from warships. We were in conversation with Sub Lieutenant Kumud Netyagi and Sub Lieutenant Reeti Singh. Thank you so much for taking out time and speaking to me. At first, I'd like to begin by asking how does it feel and how was your reaction and what was your family's reaction when you came to know about this news?
Itself, as you can guess, it is experience which is thrilled. My parents, my family, everyone, my neighborhood, my family, friends, everyone is so happy and they're feeling proud.
That is lovely. That's lovely. Sub Lieutenant Singh, I'd like to ask you what was the reaction at your place and how did your family react and how did you take this news when you were informed about it?
We were really excited what we're doing. We No, not everybody has the opportunity to be a part of naval history. We were told what we are going to do in the near future. We were thrilled because nobody, no lady officer has done that before. So our parents were equally excited when they got the news.
Right.
Sadly, they couldn't join us in our celebrations. Generally, parents are allowed to come for the passing out courses, but due to the current situation
Yes.
around the world, we had to call them, but they were equally thrilled. Even on video call, they were very happy to see our wings. And we are really happy and really proud that this Navy has given us this opportunity today.
Absolutely. Now, both of you have definitely come a long way. There's this glass ceiling that you've broken, especially for women officers. But I'd like to first ask, what inspired you both to join the Indian Navy? Because I'm sure a lot of people who are aspiring to join it really want to know the story behind this.
Yes, definitely. I belong to Ghaziabad. So in North India, people are not much aware about Indian Navy. They
Yes.
sometimes confuse themselves with Indian Navy to the Merchant Navy.
Yes.
So I belong to that family. So that time also I was not aware about Indian Navy. For me, Navy is all about waters. This is what I know few years back. But in 2015, when Lieutenant Kiran Shekhawat got martyred in the air crash in Goa,
Yes.
she was also observer. So that incident actually pinched me that it bound me to think about that I should also do something for the nation.
Hmm.
I should also join Indian Navy. So after that, I joined Navy.
Absolutely. Sub Lieutenant Singh, what was your inspiration to join the Indian Navy?
Since a very young age, actually, I've been surrounded by the men in uniform.
Right.
Like my postmate sitting here, I am fourth generation Fauji, so my granddad is ex-NDA, my father was a naval officer. So since a very young age, I've seen the men in white. And what really inspired me was whichever one or whoever I would interact with, the kind of knowledge they had about their field of work, the kind of lifestyle they lived, the kind of disciplinary lifestyle they had, and how physically fit they were, and the kind of opportunities that the armed forces had provided them with constantly at every juncture in their career was one of the reasons that I thought, that this is something that I want to do. This is how I want my life to be.
Wonderful, wonderful. Also, Sub Lieutenant Tyagi, could you take us through the details of the training that actually led you till this place, and what are the missions that await for you in future?
Our basic training when we are inducted in the Indian Navy starts from the Indian Naval Academy. We
Right.
have been trained for the basic training for 6 months, in which the rigorous physical and mental training is there.
Yes.
After that, when the training is completed, we earn these stripes. After that, we go to various schools. It is anti-submarine warfare school, whether it is Satwana, every school we go so
Right.
that we should have some basic knowledge what submarines do, how they dive, not only submarine, how communication happens, everything, so that we have a brief idea about okay, Navy is doing this. After that, we come to an observer school, which is our parent school,
Hmm.
where we train for here 8 months. In
Okay.
that, 60 hours of flying is required, including night flyings and simulator flying. Apart from this, academics are also the main topics in which the general aviation related subjects are there. In which some of the subjects 80% are the passing marks, so we have to secure that marks also
Okay.
to complete the course. And after that, now we'll be going to the helicopters. So training is not yet completed. There's a long way to go. There's 8-9 months of training which will be undergoing in the specific helicopters, so that we can understand how the helicopters, what are the radars, sonars, weapons on board the helicopter, how it operates, and how it carries out the anti-submarine warfare missions.
Absolutely. Sub-Lieutenant Singh, if you had to simplify for the benefit of our viewers, the mission that await for you in future and the roles that you will take up once you join your new roles, how would you simplify it? Because there are some technicalities that we're still yet to understand.
At this moment, we've finished our basic flying on a fixed wing aircraft, which is an aircraft that can basically needs a runway to take off. So we
Right.
get trained on the Dornier, which is in Cochin in Kerala in Southern Naval Command. We have all completed about 60 hours of flying. So our
Okay.
basic training starts from, we are given a map and we are given no sensor, and then we're told, now you identify, where you are, about which city you're flying. So we
Yes.
start from there, and from there, slowly we have built upon, and we have got to a juncture as to when there is one sensor on board the Dornier, which we are really taught how to use. So these sensors are basically capable of detecting that, let's say there is some aerial target ahead or some target which you can see ahead. These sensors have those kind of range and that kind of capability that they can detect such targets. So then it lies on us to decide whether these targets are a friendly target or it is a neutral target, and whether to home onto the target or not. So in basic training in observer school, we just simulate that, this is our enemy, so how would you carry out the attack? That's what we have finished till now. But once we get fully qualified on our helicopters, which is there is still about 8 to 9 months to go for that. Our helicopters are even more capable. They are capable of dropping torpedoes. They are capable of dropping sonars that are basically can be dropped. Once they are dropped on water, they get activated and can detect any targets in their surroundings. So an observer is in control of all that. So tomorrow when we go on the helicopter, we will decide, when should the torpedo be launched or when should the sonar buoy be dropped.
Absolutely. That sounds very interesting and thrilling. Also, Sub-Lieutenant Tyagi, I'd like to understand, what do you think the future holds for you, and what are the opportunities that you're looking at that will come your way in the future, and how excited are you about them?
I'm really excited. Navy has given us opportunity, so I'm very glad. In the future, we hope so that something new doors will be open to us. And
Definitely.
as we are going to the helicopters, so these are the ship-borne helicopters. They'll be landing on the ships. So in sooner or later, we feel that we'll be serving on board ships also.
Absolutely. Now, this is for both of you. I'd like to understand, because of certain depictions and movies, there are, a certain set of ideas and perspectives that we as viewers outside the Indian Navy hold about the Indian Navy. We feel that there is discrimination and there's not a leveled playing field. But how much true is that, since you are on ground, and what do you think are the opportunities for women in the Indian Navy now?
When we join Naval Academy, we leave our gender, everything else behind.
Yes.
We are nurtured and churned in such a way that everybody walks out on the same level. Where best part, in fact, I was telling somebody else, the best part about the armed forces, we all wear the same uniform. So
Yes.
there is no way that you can differentiate and discriminate between us. So we are living reality. So if somebody wants to understand the armed forces, I think they should probably talk to us and watch lesser movies, because
Definitely.
what we do is basically only merit based. We are trained in the same manner, be it a male officer or be it us. We all have undergone 60 hours of flying in the observer school, for an example, to quote. So our training is the same, expectations from us are the same. Everything is on, because the mission requirements will not be altered according to the gender of the
Gender,
observer sitting on
obviously.
the helicopter. The mission requirement will always remain the same, and whatever it demands, we have to live up to it. So we will be trained accordingly, and we will put in as much effort as required.
Very true, very true. And we do see that things are progressing, things are changing for good. We have a permanent commission for women officers in the Indian Army, and then we have fighter pilots in the Indian Air Force. So, how do you think things are changing, and how, most importantly, how does it feel to be a part of the change?
Things are changing definitely, and it feels great that we are the part of the
Yes.
same Indian Armed Forces where things are changing. So yes, it is a times are now improving, and it's a time for change.
Absolutely. I'd like to congratulate you both, and I wish you both very all the best. And it was great talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you
you
very
so
much.
much.